This room's much smaller than the others.
Judging by the implements on the table, this looks like a potion-making lab.
Head nurse! Over here!
Let's see. Huh? Robot's clothes. Why would he change?
Perhaps they stripped him down, left the clothes behind, and disposed of him.
Yikes, Sigewine, where did that come from?
Oh, what a tragic way to go.
There's a path leading further on, Officer Morgan. Don't slip and fall! Don't slip and fall!
There's a whole bunch of people.
Are you serious? You're telling us that within a day, our faces are going to rot like yours?
Fontanian physiology changed dramatically after that great flood, and it's not as compatible with this face-changing solution as before. The side effects are as you can see.
Why didn't you say anything before we all used it?
Look, my plan got you all out of prison, didn't it? You'd have much bigger problems to worry about right now if the Marshal Say Phantom found out about your other crimes. Consider an ugly mug getting off lightly.
Ugh. You're just lucky we didn't leave you in there after you disappeared on us with no warning. We only let it slide because we're former partners. And now you have the gall to pull a stunt like this?
Partners? Make no mistake, each of us is only looking out for himself. If you place too much trust in others, well, I'm afraid that's your— You hid things from me too. Remember how you each had a spare potion? You kept quiet about it until we planned the prison break?
Oh, and you didn't have a secret spare? Then do you want to explain how you melted your face off before all this?
Guys, that's enough. Calm down. It is what it— What's the plan, Parton? I'm assuming you brought us here for a reason?
There is no plan. We followed him here on the promise of more juice, but it turns out there ain't a drop here. Besides, what does it matter now anyway? He already said, Even if we did get our hands on more of that stuff, switching faces again solves nothing. They're still gonna melt.
I said enough arguing! Pardon? Tell...
The most practical solution is to continue using the potion. Keep switching to a new face before the ulcers can...
Are you kidding me? This stuff was hard enough to get a hold of even when we had a supply. Now you're asking us to use it like skin lotion, after the flood all but wiped the supply out?
Well, there is another option. But you'll have to make a deal with me first.
Okay, now we're talking. What's the deal?
I have a document I took from that researcher that details how to make a replacement. Just give me one bottle of the undiluted fluid, and I'll get to work. What's the problem? I thought you always kept reserves. Or do you really just have one?
What do you think? That we were shipping them into the fortress of Meripede by the basket?
Well then, say hello to never showing your marred faces in public again.
Ugh, I've heard enough! Get him! Let's see if that document even exists!
Freeze! Marshose Phantom!
What? Who let them in?
Officer Morgan, before anything else, please find out Rawat's...
What?
I don't see him. Hand over the hostage now!
Spare us your condescending attempts to coax us back to our cells. You think we're looking to negotiate?
Hutton?
Arrest them all! Don't let anyone get away!
Floaty booty! Shower me with praise!
Buckle up!
Here goes! Drilling down!
Another test subject.
Time to shine! Let's call a ceasefire! Look alive! Let's see!
Freeze!
Don't be nervous! Just relax! Japan! Strike a pose! Wibbly wobbly! Let my name echo in song! Looking for a fight? Gloves off!
Huh. Gotta say, I never expected to see the head nurse in combat.
Some patients respond better to a more aggressive treatment plan. Did we get everyone?
Captain, we finished the head count. Potten's missing.
Over there! The door's closing!
One group trying to arrest me, another trying to hunt me down. Good. I gotta kill two birds with one stone.
How did he get up there? There must be a secret passage somewhere.
Don't waste your energy. I already sealed it off.
How naive. We have more people outside. If we're not back out by the agreed time...
Well then, you'd better hope they...
There's some kind of gas leaking from the pipes. Be careful.
This is our distribution center, where we store the product derived from our source solution. We had to use special fire prevention. The pipe network here was designed to emit a gas for firefighting. One little modification later.
Why would you do this? Your partners...
Oh, please. If they can't supply what I need, they're of no further use to me. Besides, I can't have...
He's a maniac! Come on, we gotta find a way to open that door!
Go ahead, struggle in vain. Once the last of you croaks, no one will ever find me again.
Are you sure you're ready to leave, Cotton? You haven't changed your dressing today.
You can't cure my face, just give up.
And what if I could?
Nice try. You're just trying to stall me. Don't you worry about me. I'll find a way to cure my face once I get out of here.
Oh, I doubt it. After all, Fontanians can no longer dissolve in primordial seawater. The key component of the face-changing potion is the fluid left behind by dissolved Fontanians. It might look like ordinary water, but it has some unique... Before the flood, all Fontanians were Oceanids. A potion made from that fluid could dissolve and reconstruct the face of a Fontanian, in much the same way as hydroidolins change form. Theoretically, it could give someone any appearance they wished. But since the flood, Fontanians have become true humans. They can no longer provide the source material for this potion, nor
Are you saying this potion is made from Fontanians dissolved with primordial seawater? Then they're
How could you know all of this? No, wait. Of course! Well, well. So that's why you have a human appearance.
It also means that I have a formula you're unaware of.
I might get to make a deal today after all. Alright, keep talking. How do you intend to...
Oh, it's not a formula, but a finished product. I have a bottle of it right here.
What?
When I tried Rawat's skincare product, I noticed it had a certain special component in it. So I had my friends gather some other ingredients for me, and sure enough, a little experimenting later, I produced the potion. I'm guessing his skincare lotion contains the fruits of...
Huh. Impressive guesswork. Yeah, but it only contains a tiny amount of the active ingredient. The effect is minuscule compared to the undiluted...
Well, I found a way to reverse the dilution process, giving the skincare lotion a similar effect to the fluid it is derived from.
That's impossible.
If I tell you some of the ingredients, I think you can figure it out. First, you need to combine tainted hydrophantasm tissue with transoceanic pearls.
Tainted hydrophantasms and transoceanic pearls.
So, can we make a deal?
Sounds good to me. There's a delivery pipeline beneath this window. Drop the potion in, and I'll release you all.
Nope, not trusting you that easily. You're like those naughty kids who try to hide their illness. Open the sluice gate first.
Even if you're not bluffing, your potion won't cure my face permanently. You really think you have any leverage here? I'm not closing the valve this time. Clock's tick.
Fine, then I'll just stand here with the potion in my hand. And when I faint from the poison, I'll...
No.
It's open!
Disable that sluice gate! Jam it! Don't let it close again!
That's more like it. In that case, a promise is a promise.
Head nurse, there's too much poison gas in here. We have to leave, now!
That was too close.
Oh, don't be too quick to sit down. Moving around a little will help relieve the same goes for you, Traveler. Oh, but Paimon...
Flying fast is pretty tiring too, actually. Anyway, that's not important right now. Paimon's still shocked to learn that there's a whole criminal operation going on behind that skin.
Shame I ended up giving the improved version to Potten after finally making it for you.
No, please don't. Paimon doesn't want to use that stuff anymore. Still, it was a pretty good job that Paimon wanted to buy some in the first place, huh? It ended up saving everyone. Yeah, Paimon was just kidding.
Head nurse. I've done a final head count of our team and the criminals. Everyone's here and doing fine. It's a shame that we didn't find Rawat. At this point, I'm afraid he's probably
What a horrible bunch. Especially that Potten guy. If he hadn't made good on that deal, we'd all be dead because of him.
No, we wouldn't. I always keep a whole bunch of antidotes on me for emergencies. And one of them neutralizes that poison gas.
What? Then why did you give him the potion?
If this is true, I must concur. Sorry to... If he changes his appearance and flees Fontaine, it's unlikely that we'll ever find him. No matter how cooperative his...
No, you don't understand. I gave him the potion precisely so we could be sure where he'll go next.
What do you mean?
We gotta hurry. She won't last much longer.
Don't move a muscle. I might be short, but I pack a mean punch. Captain, you're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying to...
Oh.
Are you... Potten?
What?
This is how Potten looked before his face was marred. His current appearance matches the mugshot on his arrest warrant.
Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine? Why would he change back to his original face and run...
Enough of this nonsense. Let me in.
You better pipe down. There's an old lady in there who's very sick. No way...
To heck with it. Listen to me. I'm Rawat. That's my mother in there.
He's gotta be lying, right? Rawat was a victim in all this. He was forced into it against his will. How can he and this monster be this...
Forced against his will? Back when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free will. And then when I actually became a criminal in my own right, you all suddenly thought I must be under duress. Amazing what a difference a handsome face makes.
Save us the speech.
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just Potten, the whole world treated me with contempt.
Ew. What do you...
Women despise me.
Collaborate? You don't look like much of a researcher to me.
My peers scorned me.
Mr. Potten, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other investment.
Only villains would work with me.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. Easy mistake to make. Now they've listed you as an accomplice and drawn up an arrest warrant. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away to rest. If you get caught by the guards for being in the synth business, you ain't ever seeing the light of day.
There was no way out for me. Until I could stop being Potten.
Mr. Rawat,
I became popular with women.
This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me? I'd be happy to sign a license.
My peers looked up to me.
I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must no doubt have offers from countless investors, so far be it for me to ask for a full collaboration, per se.
And the villains even began to fear me. Becoming Rawat showed me what a superficial world we live in. But I did not hold a grudge. After all, this superficiality could be made to work in my favor. Or so I thought. But alas, the world seemed bent on finding a reason to make... Mother, I'm back. How are you doing?
Oh, are you?
I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but when everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother. Then, when I became a rising star in the fun...
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own wretched... Well, is that enough explaining for you?
Have you ever considered if you'll even be able to look your mother? You found a way to completely change your identity. You could easily have escaped from them. But...
Why would I want to give up on such a lucrative business? The profits were dozens of times that of the synth business, and it was all above board.
So you kept being a villain just for the money?
Villain? By what standard? Is doing evil deeds really what makes someone a villain in your eyes? Or does it all come down to the way they look? You have no right to judge me! You're all just fake people living in a hypocritical world! I regret nothing! My mother...
You're a villain to the core! But especially that...
Honestly, I don't see a villain when I look at your current face either.
Don't humor me. You don't seem surprised by my confession in the least. How long have you...
I didn't know anything for sure until you chose to take that potion bottle and spare our lives. But if you're asking when I started suspecting you, it was the first time you came to see me. I had to confirm my suspicions. That's why I chose to join...
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a wretched criminal? What on earth gave you the idea that they could be one and the same person?
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion's face-changing effects are very powerful, even as a melon. But I believe I understand humanity a little better than most of my kind. Humans have certain fundamental qualities that do...
Fundamental qualities, huh? So you think you're the one who's seen through me, do you? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. Melazine constitutions are very close to that of water, so it stands to reason that the potion should work on... You use it yourself, didn't you? That's why you have a human appearance.
Sigewine?
Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the days when Melazines were discriminated against because of... It was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race cast out by humanity, or become the head nurse of the Fortress of Meripede, revered by all. Not a hard choice to make. It's a no-brainer. So you see, you and I were the same.
That's not important right now. You came here to see your mother, didn't you?
Huh?
A head nurse. I'm not sure that's a good idea. In his...
Don't worry. Back in the warehouse when I traded the potion for our lives, I was doing it to test him. He was willing to risk sacrificing his only chance of escaping capture by opening the gate in exchange for the potion. Also, he could see his mother again.
I see.
So before you arrest him, please allow him to see his mother one last time. The Traveler and I will...
All right.
Mom? It's me, Potton. Your son. Mom, what's wrong?
I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. I examined your mother last time we were here.
What?
Your appearance no longer has any bearing on her ability to recognize you. But there are always other ways to remind our love...
No, it can't be. Please, Mom, open your eyes. It's me. Your son, Potten. I've done so much to get to this point. Please, you have... No.
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all.
It's you?
Of course.
Mom! Why will you answer her and not...
No more questions, Potten. She's gone.
Mom?
I'm sorry to say this, Potten, but you...
The wait is over, everyone! The sale of our new skincare product,
Another skincare promotion! And it's selling as fast as last time. Wonder what people would think if they knew what was in the lab. Oh, Sigewine's here too! Hey, Sigewine!
Oh, Traveler Paimon.
Of course! Nurse's orders, right? Anyway, are you here to take notes?
Actually, I'm mostly here to help Officer Morgan wrap...
Ah! That reminds Paimon. That stuff sold like crazy, didn't it?
Nope, there's nothing to worry about. Unless modified, Butterfly Dew is an excellent skincare product. Besides, officers have already retrieved all Butterfly Dew purchased on the market. After consulting Monsieur and Nervulette, I came up with a way to neutralize any harmful effects. So
wow, it's Sigewine to the
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse. All the Butterfly Dew we recovered has been disposed of.
Great! Good job!
Also, you mentioned you wanted a copy of Rawat's interrogation records. Well, technically, Potten's records. After he saw his mother for the last time, it was like all his mental defenses came crashing down. He put up no resistance during the interrogation, and answered all our questions. Apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance, while helping the criminal gang produce synth. Later, he came up with the idea their supplier was Vache. But you could also argue that they were the ones doing him a favor. It made for a seamless collaboration. One man's trash was another man's treasure, and there were no loose ends.
Vache again, huh? Is there still no...
Make no mistake. The crimes of Vache and his accomplices will come since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater. They've been forced to resort to riskier methods, like using their private... After receiving numerous reports, we were...
That sounds more like it!
Based on what he told us in his confession, we pretty much had him backed into... He tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices, giving him enough time to transform back into Potten and see his mother one last time. But there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though Potten had been missing for a long time, we were...
So he tried this once before, huh? Guess he really did want his mother to see him again.
Looking at the interrogation records, it seems like he spent the first sum of money he earned as Rawat on his mother's treatment.
Yes, which is why I suspect that his initial motive for using the potion was not personal greed, but a desire to become somebody who had the power. Even so, he went too far.
I understand. Thank you for bringing...
Why did you want them anyway?
Potten was one of my patients, so I need to put together a medical file for him. My teacher always stressed that a person...
Why are you still treating him like your patient? Isn't he kind of beyond redemption?
That may be true, but a patient is a patient, regardless...
One last thing, head nurse. Please keep everything you know. It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing of its existence. I know my fellow officers and I will be able to sleep easier if that's the...
Of course! Not to...
Thank you for understanding.
So, Sigewine, did you really use that potion yourself?
Why do you sound so surprised, Paimon? I told you all about it.
You mean that story about the witch and the potion?
Yes,
but...
I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. But considering everything... Before I tell you, though, could you follow me somewhere? I want to pay my respects to an old friend.
Of course! They're here too!
Good to see you, Traveler. Paimon. I trust all that...
Big news, everyone. The Udex is out of his office on
Is that genuinely something people...
Why wouldn't they?
Yes, you're quite right. When someone you care about requires emotional support, after reading the Maréchal Phantom's reports, I had a feeling a trip here might be...
Take note. That, my friends, is how Monsieur Neuvillette shows that he cares. We're both here for this.
So the old friend she mentioned was her teacher then? Oh, sorry. Paimon didn't mean to be rude. It's only because Sigewine calls her that all the time.
I doubt she considers that title to be offensive, Paimon. Don't worry.
Indeed. In fact, I believe Sigewine would take it as a sign of affection. She has spoken of this doctor on many... In those days, many people harbored prejudices against Melusines. She was the only teacher...
Wow. It's really nice of you two to be here for Sigewine. Guess you guys really look out for your younger colleagues, huh?
Younger colleague? Well, that might be true for the Udex, but I'm not sure I can say the same. Sigewine served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago, and after she did her time, she decided to stick around. She's been an integral... Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around longer than most people in the fortress, myself included. Pretty sure that makes me the younger colleague.
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that prohibited any attempt to transform another species into a human. Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been imposed due to ethical concerns. But now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy, a way for Egeria to ensure that her people would remain insulated from the truth, thus enabling them to lead more straightforward, happier lives.
Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
Sigewine had her reasons for choosing to obtain a human form, but the act was nonetheless
Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened back then?
Certainly. Sigewine does not object to her close friends learning about her history. In fact, I first learned of it myself.
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Stop. Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there. You're laughable, you old witch. You want to save everyone in Fontaine.
Master, what are you...
I discovered a strange disease. One I suspect that every Fontainian... I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure. But I hit a wall. And as you can see...
Then I'll find a cure for you. And then you can go cure her.
There's no need.
But...
As I said before, a doctor's duty is to treat...
I know. But they don't trust me at all.
That girl.
I'll do whatever...
Even if it means breaking the law and being punished...
As long as I don't hurt anyone.
Then I shall make one more final gamble. And see if I am able to work this miracle, then I will have found a way to save all Fontainians. If not, then it means there is one more disease in this world that I cannot treat. I will leave you a parting gift. An accidental discovery happened upon through my study.
When Sigewine returned, the miracle had not occurred. She found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After using the potion as instructed, she gained her current form. And after I had confirmed the veracity of the events, I gave my verdict.
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewine only understood the full story after the truth about the dissolution of Fontanians was uncovered. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt a deep sense of regret. As I used the law to uphold justice, after the final details of the events surrounding Sigewine's transformation came to light, I checked several sources and, thankfully, the legal code does not require Sigewine to shoulder any—
Wonder how she feels about it.
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends to speak of these matters with you, no?
You're here. The old friend I mentioned was my teacher. When she passed, her body was—
Sigewine, the witch who gave you the magic potion.
Sounds like Monsieur—
After learning the truth.
Well, to be honest, after I realized what really happened that night—
But she was planning to
That's just who she was. If lying is what it took to get a kid to take their medicine, then that's what she'd do.
Alright, but what?
I broke the law, simple as that. My teacher made her choice.
True. It's just the way Potton framed it. You're not like him at all, and everything Neverlet said confirms that. And yet, you were still convicted and thrown in prison. It's
unfair? I happen to think just the opposite. If I hadn't served that time, I'm not sure I would have been able to stay strong when he—
What makes you—
I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down. This Melazine is guilty. The Udex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melazine's medical kit. And so, the Fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her, and though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either. Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melazine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melazine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sigewine, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melazine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melazine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one bit. You don't have to hide anymore, Sigewine. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melazines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but thank you, Dr. Melazine.
Now that's an ending Paimon can get.
After hearing everything Potton said, I wanted to tell him that it didn't matter who he looked like on the outside, I tried to treat him, but the roots of his problem, I understand.
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, there's one more reason I invite. In order to restore the appearances of the face-swapping victims, the
we don't.
Well, even if you chose to destroy it, I still thought.
Well, fair enough. Still, if this is the very last bottle in all of Teyvat, Melusine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means the potion should have a permanent effect on you. In that case, what do you say? After all, from a Melusine point of view, Paimon bets Melusines look the cutest of all.
Paimon, after everything, do you really...
What was Paimon thinking? You made up your mind a long time ago.
Yeah, let's leave it to me. I'd like to stay here with my teacher